Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Welcome to computational physics class. This video is a part of lecture series based on computational physics. In this video, I will tell you about control structures. First of all, the control structures. There are number of control structures mentioned over here. They are based on the conditional statement. As we know that the statements of a computer program are executed one after the other in the order in which they are written, this is known as sequential execution of the program. It means that the compiler executes the statements that are written in sequence. The sequence is not disturbed in the C++ program. If you want to execute any statement before another statement which is written below that statement, or if you want to skip any statement which is coming in sequence, then we use several different types of conditional statement, or these are called the control structures. The order of execution of statements in a program can be changed. This is done with the help of conditional statements. The conditional statements are used to execute a set of statements, or it is used to ignore a set of statements after testing that condition. The conditional statements are also called the selection statements. There are 6 different types of control structures or the conditional statements. First is the if statement, second if-else statement, third nested if statement, fourth nested if-else statement, fifth one is the switch statement, and the sixth one is break statement. Now, first of all, the if statement. The if statement, it is used to execute or ignore a set of statements after testing the condition. Now let's consider the syntax of if statement. Here you can see an if, and inside the round bracket there is written a test expression. This test expression is a relational expression, and as you know, the relational expression will give a single value. It will always give a single value. If the relation expression is true, it will give a value 1, and if the relation expression is false, it will give you value output of 0. So in this syntax, the test expression will be checked, or the relation expression or the condition will be checked, and if the condition is true, it will first execute statement 1, and after that it will execute statement 2. But in the other case, if the relation expression or the test expression or the condition is false, then what it will be doing? It will skip the statement 1 and it will execute only the statement 2. Here you can see that in both the cases, if the condition is either true or false, statement 2 is executed each time, while the statement 1 is executed only if the test condition is true. So we are able to execute the statements other than the sequence. So by using this conditional statement or the if statement, we can ignore the statement 1 if the condition or the test expression evaluated to be false. Now there is another syntax of if statement. Here you can see there is a block of statement. if you consider there are n number of statements and you place it within this curly bracket, it will create a block. Now, if this condition, the test expression or the relation expression is true, then the n number of statement, the whole block of statement will be executed. But if the test condition or the relation expression is false, then this whole block of statement written within the curly brackets will be skipped or ignored. So here is a flow chart will give you the pictorial representation of if statement. If any program, it will start here I have skipped that the initialization and declaration, which is also part of the flow chart. It is just, this flow chart is just based on the if statement. Here you can see a expression in the condition box. If the expression is true, then the statements will be executed. While if these statements may have a block of statement, this syntax, this flow chart is based on this syntax. So in the case of true, all the n number of statement will be executed and then the program will come to an end. But if the condition is false, then the block of statements will be ignored. In this case, if we consider the flow chart, then after the false condition, here we will write the statement 1 and here we can include the statement 2. For the true case, both the statement will execute, and for the false case, the statement 2 will be executed. So with the minor changes in the flow chart, you can also draw for this syntax also. So next conditional statement is if-else statement. It is also another form of if statement and it is used for making two-way decision. In this statement, here you can see the syntax of if-else statement. Earlier, the problem was that in both the cases, either the condition is true or false, the statement number 2 was executing. In this case, here you can see the syntax. If the test expression is true, then statement 1 will be executed. But if the test expression is false, then statement 1 will be skipped and statement number 2 will be executed. The difference between the if statement and if-else statement is that in the true case, only statement number 1 will be executed, and for the false of the test expression, in the case of condition is false, statement number 2 will be executed. Unlike the if statement, in which in the true case both statement 1 and 2 was executing, while for the false case only statement number 2 was executing. So here only a single statement will be executed. Now if we consider the same if-else statement in the form of block, if we consider that there are two blocks, one block mentioned over here is when the condition is true. When the condition is true, then statement 1, 2 and n will be executed. But if this test expression is false, it will move the control towards else, and these statement 1, 2 and m will be executed, while 1, 2 and n will be skipped or ignored. So in case of the test expression is true, these statements will be executed, and if the test expression is false, the else block, the block which is created number of statement within the curly bracket, will be executed. So here you can see the flow chart of if-else statement. Here is the expression. This condition will be checked. If it is true, then this block of statement, the statements in if branch, it means that this if branch statements will be executed, and then the control will be terminated, or the program will be terminated. And if the expression is false, then the statements in else branch, that this block of statements will be executed. So next is the nested if statement. Nested if statement is when an if statement is used within another if statement. It is called nested if statement. It is used for multi-way decision making. Multi-way decision making. Now see the syntax over here. If condition 1, in this nested if statement, more than one if statement is used within the statement. Here we are using one if statement within another if statement. You can use number of if statement within a single if statement. Here the condition 1 is executed. If the condition 1 is true, then the control will be transferred inside this block, and in this block there is another condition which is condition 2. If this condition 2 is also true, then the statement number 1 will be executed. After execution of statement number 1, the control will be transferred, will come out of this block, and statement number 2 will be executed. Now if the condition 1 and the condition 2 both are true, then statement number 1 and 2 will be executed. Now if we consider another way, if the condition number 1 is true, the control is being transferred inside this block, and if you consider that the condition number 2 is false, if the condition number 2 is false, then this statement number 1 will be ignored, and this control will be transferred to statement number 2. So in the case, if we consider that condition number 1 is true and condition number 2 is false, then only statement number 2 will be executed. Now consider another case. If condition number 1 is false, if the condition number is false, then all the statements inside this curly bracket, this hole, it will be ignored. Neither the condition 2 will be checked, nor the statement 1 will be executed. So in case in which statement number 1 is false, then statement number 2 will be executed only. So these are the three cases which are possible in nested if statement. Now if we add more if condition, then the number of cases will obviously increase. Now here you can see condition number 1 is true and condition number 2 is true. Both are true, then statement 1 and 2 both are executed. And if we consider that condition number 1 is true while condition number 2 is false, the statement number 2 will be executed while statement number 1 will be ignored. Now the third case, if the condition 1 is false, for the false case everything will be the condition 2 and the statement 1, it will be ignored, and only the statement 2 will be executed. So next is the nested if else statement. When a if else statement is placed in another if else statement, it is called nested if else statement, and it is also used for multiple selections. Now here you can see the syntax in which we have used a number of if else statement inside the if else statement. So the main if statement is with a condition number 1 and the statement number 1, and its else contain another if else statement, and this else contain another if else statement. Now let's see all the possible cases for the nested if else statement. Here you can consider if the condition number 1 is true. If the condition number 1 is true, then statement number 1 will be executing. Statement number 1 will execute, and after that execution, this program will go in a sequence. It will next move to statement number if the one is execute is true, then these statements, that statement number 1 and beneath all these statements, will be executed one by one. And if the condition number 1 is false, then the control will be shifted towards its else and statement number n will be executed. Now here are several other cases also. If condition number 1 is true, statement number 1 will be executing, and it will again check if condition number 2 is also true, then statement number 2 will be executed, and if the condition number m is also true, the statement m will be executing. So if condition 1, 2 and m all are true, then statement 1, 2 and m will execute, while statement n will not be executed. If condition 1 is false, then only the statement n will be executed. Here there should be a curly bracket in between the statement 1 and statement m, so it will create a block for the if condition, and this is for the else condition. So it is, you should put a block over here. There should be a curly bracket over here. There should be a curly bracket, so it creates a block. While for the else if condition, the block should be like this. Okay, consider that if you consider that the condition 1 is true, it will execute. If this condition, it becomes false. If this condition becomes false, this is true and this becomes false, so this one will be, it will not be executed and the control will be shifted towards if. If this is true, then statement m will be executed, and if it is false, then statement m will not be executed. Here you can see the flow chart in which there are condition 1 and condition 2. If the condition 1 is true, its block will be executed, and if the condition 1 is false, the control will be shifted towards its else. It should be like if we are not considering it as a block, if we are not considering it as a block, if the condition is like this, if is a part of this else, here this if condition, its else part is considered to be this one, while this if its else is considered to be this, and while if condition, this else is considered to if we are not using any bracket over here, then first condition, if it is true, statement number 1 will be executed. If condition number 1 is false, then condition if 2 will be checked. If this is true, then statement 2 will be executed. If this is false, then condition number M will be checked. And if this is true, then statement number M will be executed. If you consider that this is true, then this will be executed. And if it is false, it will not be executed, and this condition will be checked. And if this condition is true, then this statement will be executed. If this condition, if you consider it is false, then this will be checked while it will be ignored. And if this condition is true, then this will be executed. And if this condition is false, then this is not executed, and it will execute the else condition. Okay, now here you can see the sequence in which nested if else statement will work. Here you can see that if this condition is true, then this statement will be executed, and if it is false, then the control will be shifted towards its else, and this condition will be checked. If it is false, then the statement number 2 will be executed. If it is false, then it will be ignored. It will be ignored, and the control will shift towards its else. And if this condition is true, the statement M will execute, and if the condition M is false, it will not execute, and statement N will be executed. So here is the sequence by which the nested if statement will be executing. So it is, here you can see, it is a very complicated type of condition statement, and there are many chances of error. So instead of using nested if else statement, we prefer to use the switch statement. The switch statement and nested if statement both have the same role. They both are used for multiple choices, but the syntax and the programming in by using switch statement is much easier as compared to the nested if statement. So the switch statement evaluates an expression and returns a value. One of the choices or cases in the switch statement is executed depending upon the value returned by the expression. If no cases match, then the statement under default is executed. Here this is the syntax of switch statement. Expression, it could be any used with the relation operator, any conditional statement, or any relational expression. This relation expression is solved. It will return a value, or it is either 0 or 1, or this expression could be any mathematical expression that will return a value, or it could be any value, a single constant. Now the expression will return a single value, or a single value can be used as an expression inside that switch statement. This value will be matched with these constant number 1, constant number 2. They can be number of cases. One of the choices or cases in the switch statement will be executed, the one which matches with the value of the expression with that constant. And if we consider that this expression value matches with this constant number 2, so first case, it will check, it will match with constant number 1. The expression value will not match with the expression 1, so statement it will not be executing. Next, the case the constant 2, if it matches with the constant 2, this statement will be executed. And here is the break. Break will terminate the switch or the structure of the program. It will terminate the program from the loop and from the sequence of the operation. If this case is matched, then the control will, after this break, will be transferred to the end of the program. And if we consider that none of the constants matches with the value of the expression, then the statement inside the default will be executed, and after that execution the program will comes to an end. So if no case is matched, then statement under the default is executed. Here is the flow chart of switch statement. Here you can see after solving the expression, a value is returned by the expression. This value is matched with different cases. Here we have mentioned two cases. If case 1 is matched, then statement beneath the case 1 will be executed. If case 2 is matched, the statement beneath the statement will be, and afterwards then it will comes to end. If both the two cases, case 1 does not match, then the default statement will be executed and it will comes to an end. Here there is another conditional statement, which is the break statement. It is also used to terminate the sequential execution of the statements. After execution, this break statement, when it is used within the body of the state structure or within any loop structure, it normally ends that statement. It means that after execution of break statement, if this condition matches, then this statement will be executed, and when the control comes to the break statement, it will terminate the switch structure and program comes to an end. If the break statement is used within a loop, then it will interrupt the repetition of the execution of the statement, and the program will terminate at that particular point after that execution of the break statement, and it will not further proceed. So this was all about the conditional statement and these conditional statement syntax and the flow charts.